supervision of an employee the entire time, and the airline apologized.
Here's the Beaver County forecast on 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
We can expect mostly cloudy skies today, reaching a high near 51 degrees. It'll be mostly cloudy tonight, going down to a low of 34. A slight chance of rain tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies and a high of 42. A chance of rain and snow on Saturday with clouds and a high near 40. And a chance of rain Sunday with cloudy skies and a high near 41 degrees. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Curtis Walsh on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
It's time for Notes on Local Entertainment, the show highlighting the best in local talent, hosted by Scott Tady Entertainment, editor for the Beaver County Times, and Eddie Crow.
It is Teleforum. It is that time of the week. Scott Tady comes in. Scott Tady makes sure that if we're going to be on video today on the Facebook Live feed, he's got his scarf prominently displayed. Do you want to waste people's time and talk about soccer? Or you want to talk about what you came in to talk about?
Yeah, we'll do that some other time. But
Okay.
I like your Manchester United shirt.
I did. I hadn't had a lot of opportunity to wear it proudly lately, but they look pretty good.
England has a right with Boxing Day. For the day after Christmas, they show like their version of football all day long. I just love it. It's for some reason it annoys me when America shows only on Peacock you can watch this NFL game, or only on
All right. Well, that'll
Amazon
be
or whatever.
That'll be our first topic. Your job is to pay attention to entertainment, and you've done that for a long time. You do realize that within the next 5 years, if you want to watch anything, you're going to have to subscribe to some streaming service or something like that. Have you made your peace with that?
I don't like it, but it's true. And there's going to be an NFL playoff game this season. They have not announced which one.
It ain't going to be the Steelers.
That will only be on a streaming service, and people will have an uproar about that. They've been doing it if you're the local market. If you're Pittsburgh and it's a Thursday night game, Pittsburgh can still watch it. But as you know, a lot of Yinzers have moved across the country, and they don't get to watch these games unless they have Amazon or Peacock or whatever. And people are griping about it, but it's not going away. I don't know what to do.
It's more money. It's another, in the board meetings, you know the term, an additional revenue stream.
Yes.
But not to go back to soccer, if you pay attention to European soccer, particularly English soccer, you've been doing this for a couple of weeks. You've been doing this for a couple of years. Your team might show up where you can see it on one of the networks you have, might show up on one of the streaming services.
True.
And what have you noticed? The big games that the most people care about, if it's a team out of the top 6, it's on the streaming service.
Usually Peacock, yes.
And people are going to buy that. Do you think it's going to be all that way with all media?
Largely, I do.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll get to the point where people will just succumb. I'm hoping some of the streaming services fall by the wayside. There's too many now. If we've only got a couple, I can deal with that. But how do you choose between Hulu and Amazon and like we said, Peacock, Netflix, HBO? There's just so many. I think we need like 2 or 3 and no more than that. Hopefully, some fall by the wayside.
No. I completely disagree with you. Here's why. If it's only 2 or 3. They're probably owned by the same 1 or 2 people.
Very true.
And at that point, what's the line from Vacation? No, you're misunderstanding. How much is it? And the sheriff goes, how much you got?
Yes.
Okay. Can you make your peace with that? Yeah, are you going to have a choice? Because
at some point, I would dig in on selfishness and say, you know what? If you're going to charge me that much a month, no, I am not going to watch the NFL playoffs. And if the Steelers aren't in, I don't watch anyway, so it won't be too hard for me. But I don't know. People complain about it, but they kick in the money. Maybe it helps bars. Maybe it helps taverns who have the license to show the games, and maybe they get more turnout to. If your local bar happens to have a subscription to Amazon or Paramount or something, maybe you can show the game.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go, well, I don't think it's for public consumption, private use.
Express written consent.
You need a note from the NFL's mom before you can do it. Well, is that what we're doing right now? Is the exact opposite of that. Scott Tady is my guest. He's the entertainment editor for the Beaver County Times. This is being live streamed on Facebook, and we ain't charging Nobody, nothing.
Good point. Free.
What were you pointing at?
The camera, since we're on Facebook Live.
I thought you were pointing at me. It's like, what are they?
Oh, no.
All right.
Hey, New Year's Eve. We got to talk about New Year's Eve.
Well, I was about to say, what are you doing for New Year's Eve? Because you just heard we got stuff going on in Ambridge.
How about that? The bicentennial celebration, occasional rain, the band performing. There's a wide range of stuff in Beaver County this year. I like that the Promise Blend Coffee Shop is having a New Year's Eve party. They're having the big screen TV to watch the midnight ball drop. Coffee shop, Eddie. So here's your chance. Here's a chance for some people to start the year without a hangover, instead be caffeinated. God bless them. And they won we had our Mocha Madness contest, the Beaver County Times.
Mocha Madness?
Asking readers to pick their favorite coffee shop, and the Promise Blend was the surprise winner. So highly recommend
Where
that place.
Where are they in Ambridge?
They're climbing the hill. I guess that would be Oak Hill. You're not downtown, but
right.
You're heading up 60, to be 65, I guess. But so there's that. Beaver Falls, for the kids, they have the Neighborhood North Play Museum. They're having a celebration Saturday, and it's also in the late morning. So some places are getting it done early. Harmony, Eddie, right across the border in Butler County, they're having a German celebration because that's where the German harmonists founded the country. They're going to count down to 6 p.m. when it turns midnight in Germany. There's going to be a pork and sauerkraut dinner. There's going to be Christmas tree throwing, and I don't know what that is yet, but it sounds fun. I wouldn't mind throwing a Christmas tree.
I think it's self-explanatory, isn't it?
Well, how do you?
There's not a whole lot of confusion in those three words. You're a wordsmith.
Underhand? Do you chop it in half? Do you wear gloves? Is there a target? I got questions.
I'm hucking the Christmas tree. Tell me if I followed the rules later. It's a chance to throw stuff. I'm fine with that. Scott Tady is my guest. What year or what age were you? Maybe it hasn't happened yet. What age were you when staying home New Year's Eve was at least as good an option as piling out with everybody else on New Year's Eve?
Probably 7, 8, 9 years ago. Yeah, what we do, like last year we went to Fermata Brewing in Ambridge, and they had music at like 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and 10. We watched the 6 o'clock and like a half set of the 8 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, we're heading home, avoiding the people who only go out once a year and don't know how to handle themselves. I'm a fan of that. It's probably what will happen this year. Pick a local craft brewery or winery or something. Get there early, leave early evening, and be home. And I don't know. I like watching now it's Ryan Seacrest or whoever. I like watching the midnight countdown. Always something entertaining.
Isn't there a part of you that you want to see him bring out Dick Clark's head in a bucket?
Yes.
I mean, a little evil part of you, but it's still referred to as Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah, well, maybe they can do Ted Williams or Walt Disney. But yeah, it's still Dick Clark as far as I'm concerned. And that's just a tradition. Something always happens. Maybe we'll have another Mariah Carey meltdown or, somebody always does a really bad job lip syncing. And, I kind of watch it for amusement and to make fun of people, but what that I don't like Jenny McCarthy's a host. Not a big fan of hers. I've tried watching the Giggle Fest. It's Anderson Cooper. It's kind of hard to watch that, and I'm not a Seacrest fan, but at least there's always a decent band to watch. Like they had Duran Duran last New Year's Eve, and they didn't do that well, and that's one of the reasons why I don't think I wanted to see the show this year in Pittsburgh.
What do you mean they didn't play well?
They didn't sound good.
Yeah, but you know this, a spectacle event. That's a cat rodeo. They could have sounded like crap, and it had nothing to do with them.
You're playing in 38-degree weather in New York City. I get it, but
have you ever done New Year's Eve in New York City?
I did an airport bar in Seattle once, and I was so disappointed because they're 3 hours behind, and so I thought
3 extra hours to drink.
Right, you're watching the Dick Clark New Year's Eve, and all of a sudden, right before midnight, they cut to something else. I didn't get to see it come down, and then they delayed it, and we got the 9 p.m. broadcast. I wouldn't mind celebrating it at 9 p.m. knowing it's really midnight, but they acted like that wasn't the case. It was like 8:59, and they cut back to the beginning of the show.
I always feel like we get ripped off by the Australians because aren't they the first major that says it's New Year's Eve? You see the fireworks over the Sydney Opera House, right?
It's probably there right now, New Year's Day.
No doubt. When's New Year's Eve? Whenever we want, mate. Just
called out a knife. Here's a knife.
Blow stuff up. What else is going on for New Year's Eve? Because I heard you talking to Kim off the air. You're off for like the next week and a half or something?
No, I'm just off the week leading into this. I'm hard at work this week, but we got the Polar Bear Plunge in Pittsburgh. The Beaver County one is later in the month in January, and that's a fundraiser for Special Olympics PA, so that's cool. But if you want to do the Pittsburgh one, it's the Mon Wharf at 9:30 a.m. January 1st. And if you're ever going to do it, the water's probably like at least 48 degrees now. You might as well do it. I mean, it's been warm and it's free. I did it once. You ever do that?
Wait a minute. Yeah, of course it's free.
No.
Well, what are you doing? You're walking down to the river and jumping in. Who's going to charge you for that? We can't secure the border. You think we can secure the Mon?
They're selling T-shirts for charity.
Have I ever done that?
Yes.
Yes and no.
Ooh, do tell. What, you
At a
dipped the
summer
toe?
camp, there was a group, and we were referred to as the Dippies. Every morning before reveille, before showers, we'd go down to the lake, jump in to wake up. I did do that.
Were you the skinny dippies?
No.
Good.
And it was also in the middle of summer. Now, it was in Maine, but
Ooh.
I ain't jumping in the Mon in January. You know why? I was raised with some sense.
I did it once. You don't know what the word breathtaking means until you hit that water.
Yep.
And your breath instantly vanishes. And you're thinking, why did I do this as you're scrambling to shore?
You know that's what drowns people, right?
The panic?
No.
The loss of breath?
The loss of breath, your body realizes, what does a body do? We have to protect the core. That's where all the good stuff is. The blood in your arms and legs gets recirculated to protect your torso. Your arms and legs don't work, you drown.
Yikes.
That's why you drown so much quicker in cold water. Your body's protecting. Hello and welcome to News and Notes on Entertainment and Biology stuff.
Medical health. The Pittsburgh, of course, has their big New Year's Eve celebration first night.
Pass.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
I agree that the parade, they do 2 fireworks shows. Lindsay Smith's the cool headliner. I saw her at the Arts Festival. They call her the goddaughter of soul. She lives in, I think D.C. now, but she grew up in Pittsburgh, and she's talented. But I do miss when they used to have national headliners. Like they had Fabulous Thunderbirds were a headliner one year, and then they've been kind of doing local, which has its merits, of course. But to get me downtown and fight the crowds, I really need like a Joan Jett caliber, like somebody really big. But I do recommend Lindsay if you're going. But I don't know. It seems like there was a bigger buzz about First Night Pittsburgh 10 years ago, and I think people kind of caught on that it's not worth fighting the traffic.
It's what it is. It's 100, 200,000 people all going to the same place at the same time, and then all trying to leave the same place at the same. It's a Steelers game times 2 or 3.
Yes.
When it comes to that. Did you have fun as co-host of our Christmas show?
I really did. Heard some good live music. It was great having Morgan Gruber from American Idol singing their original song, and of course Don Savage tearing it up. How about that Beaver Valley Choral Society? Wow, they knocked it out of the park. And
year in, year out, what the Beaver Valley Choral Society does sticks with me the longest.
Oh yeah,
it absolutely does. What they do is absolutely beautiful, and us getting to play them on our sister station during the holidays, that made my world.
Hoot Owls did a 45-minute set to kick us off, and they did a rockin' kind of Christmas. And Curtis Walsh's band, Better Think Twice. I heard a lot of compliments from them, people who heard that, and they liked the punk rock versions of some Christmas songs, and it definitely brought some energy and a lot of fun to the show. Yeah, we gotta do it again next year, I say.
All right, talking about next year. Give me a resolution. You don't have to keep it, but if you were going to have you made a resolution?
Yeah, spend less time on Facebook.
Spend less time. Well, wait a minute. Less time on Facebook?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to stomp your buzz or nothing, Scott, but that's a large part of your job.
I know, but I don't need to be checking it every 20 minutes. Oh, did I get any likes? Did I get any comments? Do I need to debate anyone? Just post it and then go back 4 hours later. Okay, now are there any fires I need to put out? Not be constantly worrying about it and not constantly scrolling. And I don't know. There was that line on TV show Schitt's Creek where they talked about what Morris say? It's a cauldron of self-absorption. That's what Facebook is, a cauldron of self-absorption. It's just people humble bragging all day, and I'm kind of
wait, back up. Humble bragging?
Well, you say that
What's
sarcastically.
That
That's like an oxymoron where you're kind of pretending like you're not bragging, but you really are. You haven't heard that?
No.
Yeah.
Humble bragging.
It's big with the millennials.
I don't mean to brag, but
exactly.
One of those. Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
All right. I'm going to give you the magic wand for the new year.
It's like a pen.
It looks like a pen. It's magic. It can look like anything.
Good point.
You know what? Bewitched? It's a magic wand. Now I got to hold it in front of the camera so people don't think. See, here's the magic wand. Okay.
Very ball pointy.
Yes. This is the magic wand. You can make one thing happen for Beaver County for this upcoming year.
Whoa.
Scott Tady looks down and goes, Isn't that the sound Sam made when her nose in Bewitched?
Kind of, yeah.
You can, with the magic wand / pen, you can make one thing occur in Beaver County this year. It can be the link to Beaver County. It can be one event. It can be peace on earth towards men. What would you do? That's what happens when you come in here wearing you come in wearing an Arsenal scarf.
Yes. Because I don't want to give like a Miss America answer and everyone be nicer. I mean, I do. That is a big thing. Getting back to what I was saying about Facebook, and you post something and people get all gripey about it.
I think mean people are mean.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I feel bad for some of the restaurants when they post something and people get real snippy with them on Facebook and talking away you. I wish people would be nicer, period. Not just Beaver County, but the whole world. But I don't know if that's a great answer for you. I don't know. I support local more. How about that? Support local. Every day I drive, including this road, to get to the radio station, I'm passing 25 different Amazon trucks making deliveries, and I realize, they're making a business and local drivers too. But I don't know. Maybe we should be supporting the mom and pop shop in New Brighton and Ambridge and Beaver Falls and
Walk
Beaver
down the street, Merchant Street,
right,
or Duss Avenue.
They've got stuff going on there that you don't need to order from a company in Connecticut.
No, and I don't want to put any driver at risk of having some idiot pull a gun on them
or hit them on Dutch Ridge Road. That's a windy road.
Yes, it is a windy road, long too.
Ooh,
they wrote a song about it. What should I have asked you that I didn't ask you, Mr. Tate? It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too. What's your New Year's resolution? You got to have it going.
I'm going to be at least as caustic as the previous year. Emotionally treading water. And I'm glad you brought that up. What are you going to remember from this past year? I'm going to remember getting through this past year.
It was rough. It was a great year for concerts, not so much albums. Movies, I only saw a couple that really, were worth going to the theater. So entertainment-wise, but I so many good concerts. That was what will stand out to me this year. TV shows, everyone always asks, what are you watching? And the things I watch no one else does, like a show called Fisk on Netflix, which is funny as heck. It's set in Australia. It's a lawyer. Fisk. It's her last name.
Can you understand them with the Aussie accent?
A little bit of an accent, yeah. But I always see people putting on Facebook, what should I watch? And it's whatever the scariest, creepiest movie with people getting stabbed in horror movies, and there's a lot of good funny stuff out there too. And I seem to gravitate towards that. But
wait, back up a second. You mean people get in touch with you and ask you what they should watch?
Not me. They put a general comment on any social media. Hey, looking for something binge-worthy. What do I binge? And everyone comes back with 58 horror movies. Oh, that reminds me. 2024 is coming up. Did you know the movie A Boy and His Dog was set in 2024? The Don Johnson movie from 1975, the post-apocalyptic movie A Boy and His Dog.
I have no idea what movie you're talking about, and I'm not being a smart aleck. I have no. What is it? Based on
a Harlan Ellison novel. Like I said, post-apocalyptic. Don Johnson and his pet dog have telepathy. They're able to read each other's minds and talk to each other. And it's a scathing satire of bland middle America and a bunch of other things. But anyway, in 2024, they predicted we'd be a vast wasteland and most people would be living under the earth because it was a barren wasteland. It's a movie that inspired Mad Max. The look of Mad Max, and everyone's seen Mad Max, Mel Gibson. Sure. That look was inspired by this movie called A Boy and His Dog. If you find it on cable, check it out.
Well, how old Don Johnson had to have been a boy?
He was like a pup. He looked like a teenager.
A boy and his dog.
Jason Robards does one of the lead characters.
Oh, he always does.
Oh, he does it well.
The wise old guy that knew what was happening all along, played by Jason Robards.
Perfect.
Good seeing you. We'll do it again this year.
I'll see you next year.
Anything else?
No, go Man U.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Go Arsenal.
All right.
Neither one of us meant the previous statement.
Thanks for tuning in to Notes on Local